Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys, peep game. Well, you know what? Dan Rafael, he's at it again. Once again, he writing articles in regards to Devin Haney. Basically, Devin Haney, he claims, isn't ready for Vasil Lomachenko and that Vasil Lomachenko will school Devin Haney. Well, see, this is what trips me out. You hear all these people say, well, this will happen, that'll happen. Well, then we need to push for the fight. If Devin Haney gets schooled by Lomachenko, then so be it. But, there's rumors that Lomachenko personally asked the WBC to make him the franchise champion, which Mauricio Solobon said in an interview he really don't know what it is. So basically, to me, it's almost considered the a duck label. Basically, you give up your real championship and basically you just represent what you would call the organization, but you really not a champ because there's no franchise champion belt. Okay, so at the end of the day, Dan Rafael, he got a history of doing this. Anytime his favorite fair-skinned fighter is looking at a challenge or there's a real challenge facing him, he dismisses the notion of that fight. Let's just face the fact. Lomachenko is looking more beatable than ever as each fight, comes and goes. He looked beatable against Pedraza, a dude that Tank Davis knocked out. Linares, he was having a life and death fight with Linares. Now he ended up getting the stoppage, but Linares dropped him, and Lomachenko took a lot of punishment in that fight. Now Adam Carolla, that's that was basically a dude that Eddie Hearn just sacrificed to Bob Arum. Basically, to keep Lomachenko's win streak going. Then you had Luke Campbell, who had its moment with Lomachenko. Now, the funny part about it is these guys like Dan Rafael love to change the narrative. They love to say these dudes are credible opponents for Lomachenko to keep him looking like he's this mythical number one pound-for-pound fighter, which he isn't. If you want to have him in your top 10, that's fine, but it's just very hard for me to say a guy like that is the best fighter in the world. If you want to have him in the top 10 at the bottom end of the top 10, that's fine. But him being number one, I'm sorry. I'm not rolling with that under no circumstances. And then for people to sit up here and come in the comment section and say that he's fought everybody, who the hell is everybody? Let's just keep it 100. Like I said, his most impressive wins is against a blown up Guillermo Rigondeaux, who was clearly, too small for him. And then, a weight drain Gary Russell Jr., who dropped him. And he still managed to get a majority decision. He dropped Lomachenko, which had they not waived it all, because it was clearly a knockdown. So basically, more than likely, if that knockdown is counted, then who knows what happens. But all this shit about he destroyed Gary Russell Jr., I don't know what y'all talking about. But, at the end of the day, the funny part about it is he won't give Gary Russell Jr. a rematch. He said he's moved on from that. Just like the one dude that beat him, he don't even want to fight him a second time. So, at the end of the day, it is what it is about Lomachenko. And as far as Dan Rafael go, he does that all the time. He loves to protect his non-black fighters. Because, he protected Triple G from everybody. He said, oh, that's absurd, Triple G fighting Andre Ward. That fight doesn't make any kind of sense. Well, Sergey Kovalev versus Canelo didn't make any kind of sense. And then based off what everybody thought of the fight, then, hey, it is what it is. But anybody that he think is a challenge to his favorite non-black fighter, he writes his articles totally dismissing the fight. It's just Dan being Dan. you know. As far as Devin Haney goes, Devin Haney, I've seen his growth and a couple of his fights. You know, his last fight, keep in mind, once again, people need to remember, he took that fight basically 40 days in between his last fight. Basically 42 days. That's not even, to be honest with you, that's not even 2 months. And he still managed to pretty much win the fight going away. Because I don't know how anybody, you know, for people to say that he got exposed, I mean, that's what you call just reaching. You know, what makes a fighter what you would call, you know, what established him as a legend and what makes him a great fighter or an elite fighter is when he struggles, he's able to make adjustments. Because guess what? If you put a guy in the ring and all he does is knock out people and don't go through no adversity, you really don't know how good he is. Because it's going to be a situation where you can't knock out everybody and you have to box people. Or make adjustments to a guy that's not, you know, like letting you have your way with him. So you have to be able to think. And that's the thing. Devin Haney was forced to think the first 3 to 4 rounds. And then afterwards, he figured him out. He dropped him. And then pretty much he went on to win like basically a easy decision. He pretty much won every round except for one. Maybe I think I gave the dude maybe the 6th or the 7th, but I can't remember. But it was an easy 9-3 fight for Devin Haney, or maybe 10-2. You know, you would be generous to say that that dude won 4 rounds, but at best you might have been able to give that dude 3 rounds. Sometimes, even when you have never heard of a dude, basically who he's fought and, you know, what he's done around the boxing circuit, sometimes you don't know who this dude is. But this dude, you know, he fought very well for who he was and basically fighting Devin Haney. He tried, and after he got dropped, Devin Haney had him in survivor mode because he just didn't want to get knocked out. So we have to give kudos to Devin Haney for making adjustments. That's what make you an elite fighter. That's what gets you on the pound-for-pound list. You know, I'll give you another example. You look at Artur Beterbiev versus Buzlik. You know, Buzlik gave Artur Beterbiev some trouble at first with his, you know, when he was boxing Artur Beterbiev. You know, he landed some nice shots, but Artur Beterbiev made adjustments. He started working the body. He started walking him down. He caught him, and then he eventually ended the fight. That's what makes you a great fighter or elite fighter, your ability to make adjustments. So at the end of the day, where you got Dan Rafael trying to discredit Devin Haney, we should be giving him credit. Because there's a difference between a dude that everybody build up as a lead and one of the best out there, and then he fight certain people and then he basically struggles or barely beats people. Devin Haney didn't barely beat that guy. He beat him decisively. But anyway, it's your boy Town Biz, man. I'm out.